Welcome back, IBL fans, to our Week 5 battle against Ben and his Baltimore Oriolus. Now, right now, I am at 2-2. No, 2-3, -6. So, I made some changes. I dropped Clefable, and I dropped Metagross. I picked up Jirachi, Comfey, Oriolus, and Regice. Those are the ones I picked up. I know, very weird, but I kind of had to do points. I still wanted the fairy, so yeah. And I really wanted Jirachi because I think it can help my team in the long run. So, Ben's team's scary. Mew, Weavile, Infernape, Swellow, Regular Rotom, Siglu, Steelix, Alamola, Whimsicott, Tentacruel. I look at this, and I get scared. Now, as you see, he brings Tentacruel, Weavile, Whimsicott, Infernape, Steelix, Mew. Now, I'm thinking, okay, leads. Tentacruel for Toxic Spikes. Weavile does pretty well, but he has to fear things like Scarf Jirachi, and Comfey still does decent damage to it, and unless it has the Metal Claw or Iron Head, whatever it gets, it won't do really much back. Well, its Ice Muse can do much back, but priority, that could be faster. Whimsicott, I'm thinking Taunt, Seed, Moonblast, and maybe Toxic or something, just because it gets that Prankster priority. Infernape, I'm thinking Scarf Infernape. And it's what I thought his lead could be. Steelix, specially defensive Steelix. With Earthquake for Jirachi, and I don't know what else for anything else. I just thought rocks and stuff, obviously. And the Mew, I'm thinking defensive Mew, like Leftovers, Ice Beam, Psychic, and maybe like Agility or Toxic or something just to hit something else. Maybe Shadow Ball to hit Jirachi. So, as you'll see, so thinking that his lead might be Infernape, I'm like, well, I'm going to lead Zygarde here. I don't even care. I'm leading Zygarde. And he leads his Mew. No, his Tentacle. So I'm like, oh, okay. That was also a potential lead. So Toxic Spike lead. Awesome. So I'm like, well, I don't think he's going to keep this in. So I'm going to Dragon Dance. Right now, going to Dragon Dance. And he goes right into Mew. And I'm like, alright, well, cool. This works. I'm like, well, screw this. I'm using my Granium Z right now and doing as much damage to this thing as I possibly can. He's probably going to Ice Beam me, but I don't even care. I'm going for this, attack. So, I go for the really cool looking Tectonic Rage. Send that thing to the core of the earth. And it survives. I'm like, oh, great. And I'm like, see, no. Thinking flashbacks to the last game, no. But, I'm like, okay. I'm thinking, so he got that Millium Z. But he did Shadow Psyche. I'm like, not Millium Z? So I asked him, and he said that it's banned. So that's stupid, but, yeah. So, he does Millium Z, and it does a lot of damage to Zygarde. So, I throw off 1,000 arrows. Oh, also, the other reason I went for the Tectonic Rage is because if he wanted to switch into Whimsicott, I did not want to get taunted into Dragon Dance, so the Z to Z would have got me all that taunt. So, he goes right out to Whimsicott, and I'm like, you're not Scarf. Like, there's no way you're Scarf, and I have the Sludge Wave on this. But, he's actually Scarfed. So I'm like, oh, no, that's great. But I have a Torkoal. Or no, I have a Comfey, and I know he's Scarfed into that Moonblast, so I'm going to go for the Calm Mind, I believe I go for right here. Yep. No, I go for hidden power ground, thinking he would switch out into this thing. So I was right. And then I'm like, that has to be assault vest. Like, that's either assault vest or especially defensive, but I'm assuming assault vest. So then he switches right out into his Steelix. And I switch Comfy out into Torkoal. And I made it so this Torkoal outsped Steelix and can take an Earthquake. And does a lot of damage in this sun with fire move. So I go, so he withdraws obviously. And goes right out into his Infernape. And I'm like, well, I'm Lava Plume. I don't even care. And it does a decent amount. So then I'm like, you know what, screw this. I'm going to Earth Power right now. And I Earth Power. And I get a hit off this Whimsicott. So now I believe right now I go for the Earth Power again, maybe? Or do I go for a Lava Plume? I really, really forget. I know this is bad commentary, but I'm trying to make sure this is uploaded on time. Oh yeah, I go for the Lava Plume. I'm like, maybe I can potentially get the burn on this thing. And I don't get the burn. I'm like, oh well. Well, he goes for Acid Spray, lower my special defense. So then I just go for another Lava Plume. Like, I'm not letting him switch out on me. And right here, I do get the burn, so that's great. I'm like, okay, cool. Now I can whittle this thing down. That is awesome. So right now, I'm like, he's definitely going to go for a water attack. So I'm going right into my Vaporeon. And yeah, I go right into Vaporeon. And he goes for the Scald. And my Vaporeon's like, juicy, juicy Scald. So then right here, I believe I just go for the Surf. So I think that's what I do. No, I go for Ice Beam. I was like, I'm not letting that Whimsicott come in and just destroy me. And I get a critical hit there. So it did so much damage, obviously. And yeah, so right now he's about down to like 35%. I'm like, alright, cool. So he withdraws that and goes right out into his Steelix. And I'm like, I'm just going to go for a Wish. And I look for how much Thunder Fang does. I'm like, it does like nothing. So, I believe I just go for the Scald here. I do. I just go for the Scald. So I'm like, he's definitely going to not stay in with this thing because Torkoal's an easy switch. So he goes for U-turn. And I just go for Scald again. Or no, I go for the Ice Beam. I'm like, okay. Well, why do I remember this battle so different in my head? Oh well. I went for Ice Beam. Did some damage. So right here, I believe I go for the Wish. No, I go for Toxic. I'm like, alright, yeah, Toxic. Can work. Cool. You gotta remember, we're both, I believe, 1-1 right now. Yeah, we're 1-1. So, or we have 5 mons left apiece. So, I Toxic this thing. And then I'm like, you know what? Screw this. I'm just going right out into my Torkoal again. Or Comfy. Because if he goes for close combat, it can kill from there. And I don't want to deal with that. And that's exactly what he does. He goes for the close combat. So right now I Calm Mind up. Wait, do I Calm Mind? I don't think I actually Calm Mind this entire match. I'm pretty sure I had it, but I don't think I did it. So I Draining Kiss this thing, and it does nothing. Oh, that's right, because at -1 I could have killed that thing. That's right, I could have killed the Infinite for -1. So I'm like... So I'm thinking, he's just going to set up rocks. So I go for the thing. But he goes for a Toxic. Probably expecting me to switch into Vaporeon, which is smart. So I did the Hidden Power Ground, and it did a lot of damage. So I'm like, why not just do it again? Go for Hidden Power Ground. But right here, he goes right out into his Whimsicott. I go for hidden power ground. And it does, like, not too much damage, actually. So I'm like, well, I kind of want to do some damage to this thing, so I'm going to hidden power ground again. Oh, no, I go right for the, oh, I switch. Wow. See how much I remember my battles. I go right to Torkoal. Oh, that's right, because I thought I could take any hit. That is right. So I was like, I'm going to Torkoal. And right here, I just go for the Earth Power, because I have no reason not to. He goes right out into his Infernape, and I hit the Earth Power. And it kills the Infernape. So that's 1-1 down, and I am an idiot, because that could have did so much damage in the sun, and I didn't even think about it. So I'm like, okay, well. So he goes up to his Tentacruel, and I'm in the sun, so I'm like, I can still take a hit. So he goes for the Acid Spray. And I go for the Earth Power. And it's going to die. Or, not die. So then I'm like, well, rinse and repeat. Let's go out to my Vaporeon. And he goes for the Acid Spray again. Smart move. So I believe right here I just set up a wish, because I'm like, well, this thing's about to die in one turn anyway, and I want to make sure this thing survives. So he goes for the Acid Spray. It does some pretty good damage. I go for a wish. And of course the Tentacruel dies now. So I'm like, cool. So I got rid of that thing, which is a problem. So he brings out this thing, and I'm like, well, I'm going to Scald this thing. I could potentially get a burn. I also forgot I was in the sun, and as you see, I did not get the burn. He goes for the Toxic. And takes toxic damage. But my wish hits, so I'm like, oh, okay. Like, leftovers, and then, like, the toxic damage is going to roll off. So obviously it's a lot of damage, but, or not a lot of damage, but it's like, okay. So then I go for the, Ice Beam, thinking he could potentially switch into Fang. But he goes right into this, predicting that, thinking, okay, I can do some damage now. So I'm like, shoot. Okay, so I just go right out, or I just wish up, I believe, right here. Yep. Wish up. And then I go right out into Torkoal. So I go right out into Torkoal. And even if he goes for knockoff, it shouldn't kill. And nothing he has could really do damage to me. So he goes for another knockoff. Does a lot of damage though. Got rid of my Heat Rock, but didn't matter. Then I got my Wish, which is awesome. So then right now I'm like, alright, well, I have no reason to not just go for that Lava Plume. So I go for the Lava Plume. And I kill this Weavile. So I'm like, cool, that's 2 months down. He goes right out to Steelix, and I, again, just Lava Plume. So I'm like, well, I have no reason to not Lava Plume. So at this point, as you can see, I just Lava Pluming through everything. So then he goes right out to his Whimsicott, and again, I just Lava Plume this thing. Goes for the Shadow Ball. Does some decent damage, but not enough to kill, obviously. And I go for Lava Plume, and of course the Sun's going to kill. So that's great. We just beat a team that was 3-2, so we are now 3-3, -1 still. So next week we play JB Westside and his the JB? I'm pretty sure it's JB. Yeah. Wait, no, it's not JB. It's Jacob. Jacob as always. Yeah, that's who it is. Jacob as always, and his Green Bay Pikachu's, which are 5-1, maybe 4-1. I think they're 5-1. So I'm 3-3. Yeah, so they're 5-1. So that is going to be terrifying to face because their team is very good. And I will see you then when this battle happens. Bye.